It's time to roll.
I guess so. Otherwise, it's just you and me chatting like normal.
No, let's go.
Oh
Let's
my
do it.
god, did you miss that?
What?
Oh my god. I moved my coffee and it splashed out and like hit me in the eye. I feel attacked.
So, what are we doing?
I don't know. What are we doing? Well, we wanted to what? Talk about what we're reading slash September's TBR Lowdown picks, which is what I'm kind of reading, and I think
Same.
yeah. So go first with the main pick.
Sure. So, our main pick for the TBR Lowdown Book Club is Breast and Eggs by Miyako Kawakami. And Alyssa and I read this, I think it was back in May or June, and we both enjoyed it greatly. And we think that you all should read it too, which is why we made it a pick. And so, rereading that, it's fantastic. The second go round, it's just wonderful. And then our bonus pick is The Master and Margarita, which is by Mikhail Bulgakov. Does that sound right? I'm not Russian, but
Really?
I'm not Russian. And mine is translated by Mira Ginsburg. Who's yours translated by?
Richard Pevier and Larissa Volkansky. I don't
Oh,
know.
so you have dual translators on yours.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And then my audiobook is translated by a third person.
I don't
Which I know
know.
you did not listen with the audio. I
No,
know
I'm
that.
just reading this one physically. And I think it's safe to say we're both loving this book.
Oh yes. I was thinking about doing like you and just reading it physically. And then I was looking at the audiobooks just to see if they had this version translated
Mm-hmm.
and they didn't. But the all the reviews were about how animated and good the audiobook was. So, you know, me as an audiobook
Oh,
lover, I
yeah.
couldn't say no. I had to try it. So it is weird to read along.
You see what
Um,
I'm saying now,
because the
right?
words I've done it before. My Anna Karenina is a different
Oh.
um, translator to my edition, but I don't know. Most of the time, the divergence isn't that much. It's literally just a different word choice
Yeah.
for something. I've noticed that my audiobook edition uses less or more anglicized words, if that makes any sense.
Yes.
So instead of saying like Tolstoy shirt, it'll say white shirt. Um,
Oh, mine says blouse. My
mm.
book.
So like this is like I guess I wouldn't know what a Tolstoy shirt is. Like,
Right. Yeah.
I would have to look it up, but so I find it actually kind of interesting to see the different choices that get made while you're
Mm-hmm.
translating a work because obviously the story is the same and
Yes.
it is very engaging. Whoever's doing the audio for it, it's very engaging and
Hmm.
it it feels more like an acid trip.
That's why I said to you. So while I was reading this, I was like, I feel like one, I'm being punked. I feel like someone slipped me a little something, something in my drink. I'm like Alice in Wonderland. I've gone down the rabbit hole. I don't know where I am. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. That's what I was
Do
like,
we
let me
want to give
know when you feel like you're tripping out on drugs.
when do we want to do we want to give any sort of background on what this is?
Maybe in the discussion that we have when we talk about the main and
Okay.
the bonus. Or should I read a little bit of the synopsis?
Whatever you want to do. Just know that it, it it's it's trippy. How do I want to say this?
Yeah.
But it's also a really interesting commentary. That he makes little commentaries on like communist Russia too.
Yes, he does.
So
There's also like themes of greed in here.
mm-hmm.
There, I don't want to. I don't want to get into it right now. I know because we're going to have our discussion, but just
Okay.
know
Surface
you
level,
all
it's
should read
very
this.
trippy. Surface level, very trippy.
Yeah.
Like fun story. Deeper down, there are like layers of commentary, like social commentary that are layered within.
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
That's how we'll say it.
Very much so. And it is a wonderful read. And anyway, it's great. I can't wait till we talk about both these books in our discussion for the wrap ups.
And then we have the beautiful, wonderful. I don't know what I'm reading. Ulysses. Oh, is that yours naked? I like it naked.
Yeah, my cover is really.
I prefer it naked.
I do too. That's why I put the dust jacket to the side because this I think is gorgeous. Look how it's like faded and.
Mine's
for those of you listening to the audio, we also record video. So if you want to see what we're doing, see the books we're holding up, just go to the link in our show notes. But yeah, I prefer this.
Do you link the video?
I'm gonna start.
Oh, I was like, what is she talking about?
I'm gonna start because
She's been reading Master and Margarita too long.
I know. I'm tripping. I'm gonna start. I think I want to start putting the videos on the show notes. What do you think?
Sure.
Yeah, we're planning as we talk, folks. This is what happens sometimes.
She just drops shit on me. It's okay. She has some organizational document that she keeps threatening to send to me, and she keeps going, "You're gonna hate me when you see it. You're gonna hate me when you see it."
It's a Trello board, and you're gonna love it. I won't show you the error table, but it is linked in the Trello board. The error table's for me.
I don't know what any of these are, but I find it terrifying.
I'm testing an error table for tracking, like when we reschedule to record, when we record, when we edit, when it's released. I'm a super organizer, people. Welcome to my life as a Capricorn.
I live by the seat of my pants. When you say air table, I'm thinking about air hockey. Like immediately, I'm in a basement in the 90s playing air hockey and getting my fingers jammed by the stupid puck.
It's like a database-driven spreadsheet. So like it's Excel on crack.
But like, what are you doing with this data?
It's keeping everything tracked so we can go back and see like by season what episodes we did, who were the guests, yada yada yada. And now that we use Riverside to record, and now that they allow us to do transcripts, I'll add that in there too, so that we have like a
transcripts is good.
Yeah. Oh, I wanted to try something that I think I needed to do before I pushed record. I'll do it on the next episode. But yeah, so it's just tracking all of our shows by season. Yeah.
Thank God.
Alyssa's like, she's like, why are we doing that?
You see the chaos I live in? Whatever. Someone's got to keep me organized. One of us has to be the adult, and it's not me.
I can't help it. I can't help it. Does anyone relate? Anyone? Anyone?
Anyone? Bueller? Oh, man. Okay. So anyway, Ulysses. We got distracted. Ulysses is. I got distracted by its nakedness. It happens. How far are you? Because I haven't read anymore. I'm still on part 2. I haven't gotten any further than part 2.
I am only on page 17. So what I realize is I cannot read this book in the evening. I have to read it during the day, early, when I have like full attention and focus.
Yeah, I have to I think what I have to do is read the Spark Notes and then read a chunk of chapters.
Oh, I forgot about the Spark Notes. That's right.
So that
I should get
in
some.
the hopes that I understand what is being said.
Right. Yeah. I need to get those. Has anyone read Ulysses?
Can anybody tell us what's happening?
Anybody.
What it's confusing me. So like the first 3 chapters, let's call them chapters, are centered around like one guy, right? The Stephen guy, right? Mm-hmm. And then part 2 starts with the actual guy that I thought this book was about, who's the guy who's just walking around Dublin, not wanting to go home while his wife's cheating on him.
Is that Buck?
No, you haven't met him yet.
Oh, okay, I haven't met him yet. Okay.
Leopold Bloom.
Okay.
And I'm like, how am I 50 some odd pages into this book and I haven't met the guy yet?
Right. Okay. Okay.
but I also don't understand. So there's that.
It's gonna be interesting.
That's why we have 6 weeks to read it.
Absolutely.
It's a trip.
Join us.
It's a
Join us.
journey. But I'm also reading Great Circle by Maggie Shipstead, and it's fantastic. I am however many pages? Like 100 pages in. I don't know where you went. I'm like 100 pages in. I need
Mm-hmm.
to read more of that today. And then I also am reading The Secret Lives of Church Ladies, and that is fantastic.
It is just a bundle of joy, isn't it? It's just so great.
It starts with Clint. I mean,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna leave it.
Yeah. When you're done with it, like this is gonna be adapted into I think a show or a movie or something, but I have high hopes. I think it's gonna be really good. I am very excited about this adaptation. There are so many things being adapted. I know we're gonna do a show on that later, but
Yeah.
I'm excited for that one.
Speaking of adaptations, how's when is that adaptation of Passing actually hitting Netflix?
Oh my gosh, it's like I don't know. Even when you look online, like people are still wondering when is it coming? Because they went to the film festival what 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I don't know. I wonder what the holdup is.
I don't know. Passing, it
Dying
doesn't
for
have
that
a
one.
release date.
Yeah, I don't know. And it's funny, like there's absolutely no buzz about like this is what's coming up. This is what's coming next. Like Netflix is very tight-lipped about it. So who
So wait,
knows?
who is the wait? So Jordy's books. Did Jordy is he with Netflix?
Yeah.
We should start bombarding Jordy.
But this was but
But he's got
but
to
this was
know.
done well maybe.
Let
But
us
this
in
was
on the
definitely
tea, Jord.
decided before he joined the team.
Let
We
let
should
us
just
in,
ask
Jordy.
Tessa.
Just start bombarding them all. When the fuck
Yeah,
is this movie coming out?
we want it. We want it. I'm very excited about that one. I want to see what they've done with it. Please don't mess that one up. Cuz that book is perfection. Please don't mess with the adaptation.
I know.
Just
Ooh, wouldn't that be interesting if we had enough clout by the time we get to our discussion of adaptations to get Jordy on our show?
mm,
Especially considering how many people have polarizing opinions on it.
for sure. For sure. I just want the inside Netflix scoop.
Exactly. I want to know,
That's what
like,
the heck I
how do
want.
you make your decisions? What's
Yeah.
coming out? What
Yeah.
should I be excited about? Give
Mhm.
us the tea, sir.
Give us the tea.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Reese Witherspoon, please come on the show. We love Hello Sunshine.
We do.
You know, I just want to say I think that she's a total boss. She picks these books. She chooses what she's going to adapt. She chooses great female characters and actors to play these roles. I dig what she's doing.
I'm sorry, you just got a buzz. I'm gonna put my phone on do not disturb because you're gonna be like, Alexa, you made noise.
It's funny. We may not hear stuff now, but when I get in edit mode, it's like, oh, I was doing that. I didn't think anyone could hear that.
She's gonna yell at me so much, guys. You have no idea. I'm gonna get
I'm
these
gonna yell at
messages.
myself.
Like we got on and we need to stop tapping things. Don't
Because
tap
we're
so
so
much.
bad. We're so bad. I can't tell you how many times there was one episode I was like, "Oh my god," talking to myself. "Oh my god, Naomi, stop hitting your mic. Just stop it already." I had to take out so many mic hits. It was ridiculous.
You really there was one episode where you were just beating the shit
Oh,
out of your
you
mic.
remember, right?
And
I
it was
just kept hitting
hilarious.
it.
Yeah.
Oh my
Like
god.
every time you were like, ba-bow, ba-bow.
I was so over myself in that editing process for that
Well, you
episode.
were
I
excited.
was like, "Girl, get it together."
You
All
were
right, so those are the three
excited.
things we're reading. Oh
Yeah,
no,
those
you
are the
have four things you're reading. No,
yeah.
five. You've got
5.
books. Yeah. Oh no, you've got four because you're not rereading Brush and Eggs right
I'm
now.
not rereading Breast and Eggs unless I get extra time because
Right.
Naomi, if you missed one of our lives, Instagram lives, which we should go live tomorrow because we haven't gone live in a little bit.
Yes.
Every so often on a Sunday, Naomi and I will go live on Instagram. So just you should follow both of us on Instagram,
Yes.
and we will, which we're linked in the show notes, I think.
Because we
Anyway,
switch off. Like I'll go live one week, she'll go live the next week, yada yada.
yeah. Anyway, we were talking. What were we? Oh my god, I've already forgotten what we were gonna say. Oh no, like a massive list of books to get from my library. So now I have a stack of books to get through. And they have all been wonderful. I will say that you have chosen a wonderful TBR for me.
Thank you.
However, I'm overwhelmed.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Sorry. Because at the same time, my Libby holds are rolling in, and I'm like,
You'll have to have some be delivered later.
I have been doing that.
Later.
Poor Norwegian Woods has been delivered later so many times, and I need to just read
Yeah.
it already. Speaking of Haruki Murakami, our next challenging book, Q1Q84. When I was at the book barn this last time, do you want to know what was sitting there for $1?
Shut up. Don't you even say it.
I
Was it?
so annoyed because I was like, I spent like $10, but like I spent money on this. I could have gotten this for $1.
Are you the same edition that what?
Yeah. There's part of me that's like, maybe I should just go grab it and like ship it to somebody. But
Yeah, grab it and then we'll do like a giveaway for that read along.
next time I go, if it's still there, I will grab it. I'll try to go to the book
$1.
barn when it's I'll go to return books when the book barn's open and see.
Man, I can't believe that.
But that's happened a bunch where like there's books that we've got like the Immortalists, which we got at McKay's, and I sort of went back and forth on because it was like $8. Like, do I
Right.
get it? I don't know.
Right.
It's there for $1.
People are listening like they're saying $8 is expensive. Listen, people,
It's the
We
fact that I
are-
could have spent less money.
we are thrifters. We book thrift all the time. When you are used to going to the thrift store and getting hardcover books for $2.99 and paperbacks for $1.99, or going to her book barn and getting books for $1, or me going to McKay, and books range from 15 cents
Mm-hmm.
to $20 depending on the book.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's like $8. Let me think about it. Let me think about it.
And then you go to Barnes and Noble on a whim, and you're like, I just spent $100, and I got 4 things and a coffee.
All the books
I also had
can
to
get.
renew my mom's Barnes and Noble membership, which I texted her and I was like, Mom, I renewed your membership. This was yesterday. For everybody who doesn't just live in my world with Naomi. And my mom goes, oh, I already did that last week. I'm like, well, clearly it didn't work because
No, Mom.
I just gave him $30. Every year I do this. You have to understand.
How much do I pay for Books A Million? I can't remember. Is mine 25?
I don't have a Books A Million. I only have Barnes and Noble.
Okay. I mean,
That's why I made you go to Books A Million.
right. That's right. Yeah,
It has a much better bargain section. There's like the 2 Barnes and Nobles that I have near me. The one that I went to yesterday was just disappointing because it's a standalone building, 2 floors, like you expect it to be.
yeah.
Amazing. I think the children's section's pretty good, but like the bargain section's crap. And it's pretty much just the Barnes and Noble editions of books, which are beautiful. No
Right.
knocking on those special editions of classics and stuff. But there's nothing else there. The other one has a bigger bargain section, but it's further away. And, well, I guess it's closer. It's not on my way to anything. That's a better way for me to put it. But it's still not impressive. Like, every time you guys go to BAM and you show me what you get from BAM from the bargain sections, I'm like, shocked.
Right. Although, so our friend Aaliyah, she went to Books A Million and was in the bargain section just this week, and she got Strange the Dreamer for $8.
I need that edition.
But I got it hardcover, same edition, earlier this year from my BAM discount section, and mine was like a little under $5.
Yeah.
So
It's not
you know,
consistent pricing.
because I would not have bought it for $8. I would not have.
We are cheap.
Cheap, 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 cheap.
But I do need that edition because my copies that I read for the first time, I have a hardback of Muse of Nightmares, which matches that. I want the hardback matching cover of that, and then I have the paperback of Strange the Dreamer, and I want the paperback because they don't match.
Mm.
And I
The
do love.
the hard cover for the second one, is that the one? It's like white and blue.
No,
Is
white and
that
blue is the first one, and then it's like red or for
well? Mine
Muse of
is yellow and
Nightmares.
blue.
Maybe. Oh, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
I
Anyway,
hope they have it because I would like to read the second one.
I mean, I obviously have everything. Not. Ooh, you ready for ASMR typing?
I'm gonna cut it out.
Oh, come on. If I do it long enough, we can get that crew of peoples.
Why do people like it?
I love ASMR.
Those sound rooms that I listen to, is that considered ASMR? That's not considered ASMR.
Depends. But no, I mean like the people who like touch plastic.
Unwrap things,
Yeah.
and yeah.
I don't know why, but when I can't sleep, I put that on. It makes me happy, and I go to bed.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm one of those weird people. No, you're right. Muse of Nightmares in hardback is like purpley white.
Yeah.
In paperback, it's like orange.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'm hoping they have the second one when I go.
So I want the first in hardback and the second in paperback, and then I'll have two matching sets and my special edition.
Right. I'm on
There's
board
just
with that.
certain books that I need special editions for.
I'm on,
Very
I'm
rarely.
I'm on board. I'm on board. All right. What's next?
I mean, considering you have 97 editions of Sherlock Holmes, and I almost bought you another one at the book bar, but I was like, no, I have to. No, I cannot encourage her.
Encourage me. Encourage me. I'm telling you, one day I'm gonna have an entire bookcase with like just so many Sherlock Holmes editions. It's gonna be insane. Insane. You just wait. You just wait and see.
Did I find you a pop-up book of Sherlock
Oh,
Holmes?
yes, you did, ma'am. Yes, you did. So over here, I have shorter shelves, and on top are some of my Sherlock Holmes books, and that is one of them. And it is amazing. And now I'm gonna show the people. Thank you.
You're welcome.
For those that are seen on the video, this is so she came to visit me in May, and we went to McKay, and she
And look
found
what
this
I
beautiful
found.
book. Look at this pop-up stuff. It's amazing. It's amazing.
It is amazing. It was beautiful.
I've never seen I've never seen this before anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
It's gorgeous. Look at that. It is amazing. It's just I'm in love with it. So, it's so cool. It's so cool. So, anyway,
Get you a friend that encourages you in your crazy.
also if you never read Sherlock Holmes, you're missing out. Just want to put that out there. Okay. Moving on.
Anyway, so what is the point of this episode? I feel like every episode is us blabbering and then me going, the point of this episode.
And then I come in with, well, the point is, so today we're talking about some of the books that we read for Women of Translation Month, which August.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we read some pretty good books. What do you think?
Oh, I love the books that I read. I don't think there was anything I truly Oh no, that's not wrong. That's wrong. There was one I really disliked.
Oh,
But
yeah.
because it was weird and wrong, and trying to scrub it from my brain, but
Yeah.
but yeah, no, I really enjoyed it, and I found a new author that I love, so that's always good.
I think I did too. So, yeah.
Yeah. And unlike Naomi, I do not have any of the books, so sorry, friends, no visuals. But if you want visuals, I did do a wrap up just for women's women in
Women's.
translation month on my YouTube channel, which is somewhere. Find it.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
If you need visuals, it's there.
Yes, you did. You can always pop them up in your video editing if you want to.
Again,
I don't know how hard that is. Oh, that's hard. I don't know how. Never mind. Don't do that. Just watch her video, people. Watch her video.
She's giving me more work to do.
No, just
I
watch her
guess,
video.
I guess
She's
I'm
already
editing
done
this.
it. She's
I
already
guess
done it.
I'm editing this video today.
No, she's already done it, folks. Just go watch it. We'll link her video in the show notes so you can watch her Woman in Translation video that's on her Nerdy Nurse Reads channel. We will link it in the show notes. No worries.
Cool.
Boom. Boom, boom, boom. There's power in show notes.
Ooh, like a little fluff just went up in the air.
If we put that on a t-shirt, only podcasters will understand it, and I kind of like that.
What, there's power in show notes?
Yes.
What
Okay.
is in our book chat that needs to be like on a mug?
It was good.
It was
It
really
was good.
good.
Yeah.
If the money doesn't compensate for the bullshit, don't.
Yes, that should be on a t-shirt, on a mug,
I could just walk
on a
around
blanket,
work,
on
it
a
just
book
says that.
sleeve, just anywhere that it can be printed, print it.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right.
Ooh,
So
I hit my mic. I hit my mic. Edit this out.
I'm gonna edit that out.
I kind of don't want to edit the video. I just want it to be the raw free for all that is us.
It could be. We could, do that. Just let the video be the raw footage. You know what I mean? That could be a thing. Because I heavily edit the audio.
I know you do.
Yeah.
You want to see us in the raw, in the buff,
In the wild.
uncut,
Wild.
and unedited.
Yes. Yes. Label it that.
Okay.
If you want to going forward, I think that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. Mm-mm-mm. All right. Well, you want to start? I think a couple. One. I think. Look.
Did
I
we?
think you liked it more than me.
Oh yeah, you want to start with that one? So I just liked it because it talked. So hold up the book since you have it. I'm directing you now. Hold up the damn book. So that's Where the Wild Ladies Are, and it's a collection of stories that I believe are based in like Japanese folklore. Am I right? Is it Japanese?
I think you're
or is
right.
it Korean? I read Japanese and
Japanese
Korean.
Japanese folk tales. You're right. Mm-hmm.
I'm getting everybody confused now because I can't remember who was which. Because I just kept alternating between Japan and Korea. I feel like so my poor brain can't sort everybody out. But I think I just liked how much ghosts centered,
Mm-hmm.
stories centered around ghosts, and like family and that interconnectedness between generations, which is something that's missing in a lot of our folklore, which is why I liked it. Why did you not like it as much?
Oh, I just thought it was fine.
Yeah.
I also think maybe I'll read it again at some point. You know what I mean? I think I made a mistake by listening to this while I was working. That doesn't always go well for me.
Yeah.
So it's not that I didn't like it. I started it and I listened to it, but I was also getting very distracted by doing work. So yeah. But I'll definitely keep this and we'll read it again at some point.
Yeah.
You know.
Did you
And
read the woman in the purple skirt?
I did not, and I need to because I got to take that one back.
Okay, because I did
What
read that, but we can talk about that on a different day if you don't want. But I didn't read it till like this month, but we can count it if you want. I thought it was a really interesting concept for a book. However, maybe I didn't. I read this in the day that I had a migraine, and I was also setting up Halloween Town, and Halloween Town are my Halloween decorations. And I don't know, like. At the end, I kind of felt unsatisfied, I guess, is what bothered me.
Okay.
So either I missed something that would have been the key to me feeling less unsatisfied at the end, or
it was intentional.
Yeah, and I'm not sure. So I'm curious to hear your thoughts on it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely reading it this month. It's got to go back to its library home. So.
But it was definitely very engaging, and it's quick. It's super short, but by the end, there's just something sort of missing.
Sometimes that happens.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
And it could be a me. Anyway. What else
Well,
you
I
got?
shall read and we shall discuss. So I
Hmm.
read my first Isabel Allende book,
Oh yeah.
Daughter of Fortune, and it's about this orphan girl who grows up and falls in love with her, I guess, orphan daddy's worker or whatever, and he goes off in search of gold because gold is discovered, and she goes trailing off after him, and at certain point she disguises herself as a man to to get through this passage to get to him. And I don't want to say this book was like outstanding. The story was fine, but her writing is really good. Her writing is really good, and I'd like to read more from her.
So
And
Jesus really likes her, and when we were at the book barn last, so I believe I've unhauled that book, and I've never read it. I think I had it for years, and
mhm.
I unhauled it like a while ago. Um, unless it's in my bookcases and I find it when I finally set up the new bookcases. Um, Jesus wanted to buy it from the book barn, and I was like, just buy it. And he was like, yeah. But he really likes that author. He thinks she's really good. So I got a different book by her,
Yeah,
um, that he can read it.
yeah. I mean,
She's supposed to be phenomenal.
this is translated from Spanish, and again, like this was a good story, and I believe there's a follow up book to Daughter of Fortune, and I
There
do plan
is.
on hunting that down and reading it. But I really did like her writing. It really flows. It
Yeah.
really flows.
This is the one I got.
Oh yes, A Long Petal of the Sea. Yeah,
I think it's really pretty.
it's beautiful. It's beautiful. So let us know if you all have listened, have read Isabel. Is it Allende? Isn't two L's pronounced like a
It's
Y?
Yende. I think there's a Y, yeah. Yende. Allende. I don't know. We'll have Jesus say it one day.
Yeah. So it was good. It was good.
She's written a lot. I'm just looking here at like this page. She's written like
Oh,
a
do I
lot of
have one of
books.
those? Oh, look how pretty! Look, it's like a
It's
doily.
really pretty. There's definitely a oh my god, there's a bee outside my window. Why does that terrify me? Oh yeah, because like they kill me.
Because you could die.
Um, it's okay. There's like lots of layers of protecting me, but still scared. Um, I think like wasn't that an Oprah book pick at some point?
I don't know.
I feel like it was.
Well, I'm glad the freaking sticker's not on here to tell me.
That irritates me. That's why I didn't buy. There were so many things I wanted to get at Barnes and Noble, but they all have that stupid sticker on it. That
I understand.
like I hate it.
I know. I understand why you didn't get it. We're talking about Black Buck, folks, which is that debut novel that came out earlier this year by Mateo. Someone that book was fantastic. Read that sucker in one day. Could not put it down. Could
I
not.
do have the audiobook, so I should probably listen to it.
Read
Um,
along though. Read along. It's so good.
you're right. I should probably just get it through
Book of
Book
the
of the Month
month.
because then it'll have Book of the Month branding, but the Book of the Month branding doesn't bother me as much.
It doesn't bother me that much either. But check Abe first,
I will. But
just
they
in
probably will
case.
still have a sticker on it. And what
Maybe, maybe not.
and I want the Firekeeper's Daughter, but that has a sticker on it.
Oh, because that was a Reese pick, right?
Hmm.
Mm, yeah,
And am I gonna have to get like because the cover is beautiful
it is.
and it's more beautiful regularly than as the Book of the Month pick. But like again, am I gonna have to get it as a Book of the Month because it doesn't have a stupid sticker?
I mean,
These are the
my
thoughts that I have.
yeah, when I'm just strictly like online book shopping, I always just check Abe first. Always.
Yeah. But they're both new enough that they might not be on Abe. But
Yeah,
I do.
that's true. That's true.
But Abe's on Rakuten, so
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I've got a lot of cashback checks from shopping on Abe.
go to Rakuten. Also, Book Depositories on Rakuten.
Oh, okay. I never order from there.
I do occasionally when I want an overseas edition of something that I or like the breast editions. I'll probably have to get there. But since
I'm
I've
gonna
spent
get
an
all those editions.
obscene amount of money lately, I can't buy them right now.
I want all three because there's two that
Yes,
have a yeah. I
I
want
like
I
the
want them
girl
all.
one. Then
I
the
like that
other
lady
one.
one too.
Yeah.
The lady where she's like this. I
Yes.
want them all.
What was I gonna look up? Abe. It's just abe.com. Abe Books. There we
A
go.
books.
What was it? Black Buck? Let's see.
Black Buck.
Just for
I
schmeats
would love to
and
see
giggles.
Black Buck adapted.
This
The
is
satire was just it was just so crazy.
this is why we have to become friends with Jordy and be like, yo, Jordy.
What's
Yo,
coming down the
Jordy.
pike, man? What's coming down the pike?
First of all, it looks like everything has that stupid Read with Jenna sticker on it. Like, why?
They know
Like,
we hate it.
it's cool to put the sticker on it. That's fine. But you can put the stickers on, like the Target stickers that are easy to pull off, and I can
Yes.
take it off. That's all we're asking. That's literally all we are asking you to do.
Yeah, like we understand why you're doing it. We understand it's for marketing purposes. We get it. We know that there are certain people who want to read everything that Reese recommends, and we understand that there are certain people who always want to read with Jenna. However, those of us who do not care, we just want to be able to pull the sticker off.
Mhm.
That's it.
We
That's
do not
literally all
care.
we're asking.
I'm just having
We do not
TikToks in my head.
care.
We do not care.
We do not care. We just want to be able to pull the sticker off. That's all we're saying. Don't make
Mm-hmm.
it a permanent one.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have a couple of books in here that I got from I think Abe, or maybe it was, I don't know, thrift store somewhere, and it's got the Oprah's book club thing on it, and it's just a part of the cover.
I hate it.
It's
I
a
hate it
part
so
of the
much.
cover.
By the way, Black Buck. It looks like I can get it in good condition for $8.50.
Okay, so like just a few, like a dollar and some change cheaper than book of the month.
Yeah, which is, but it's got Read with Jenna on it. So like, is that dollar worth it? I don't know. We'll see.
Or
Well, I'll
you can
just
wait.
keep an eye on it.
Yeah, wait a little while, wait a few months, and see what happens.
See if it shows up at the book barn.
Because also too, I next so Friday, I am going to the thrift stores and McKay. So if I see it, I'll just and it doesn't have a sticker, I'll get it and I'll send it to you.
Yes.
Yeah, because you never know. You never know. You never know what you find.
I know. I need to figure out when the booksellers show up at my book barn because people go to my book barn, like booksellers, people who have used bookstores, go to my book barn, buy books from them, and resell them for like $2, $3, $5, $10.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the book hustle is real.
Yeah.
I learned about the book hustle from Resi Sales.
Yeah. So I
Those
need
of
to let.
you who do that, y'all know who Resi is. He's
I
OG
don't know who.
bookseller.
I don't know who Red. But who's Resi?
Oh, he's a OG online bookseller. Like he is the one that really showed you how to do it and to make money off of it. I mean, he's like up his game since then. He's doing other stuff, but like he's the OG book online bookseller. He was talking about that when nobody was doing it.
You're breaking up, and I'm assuming it's my internet. But you keep going away.
Oh,
Is it your
yeah,
internet?
minus. I think it's yours because you know what your video's looking like
Janky.
ghosty. Yeah,
That's
janky,
because I'm
janky.
undead. One day we'll fix my internet.
You just
Raw
have to
and
get your thing
uncut.
rewired, right?
Yeah. Well, we need to get this Orby thing, and it's a whole. I don't know. Or I could
Oh
just try to run.
gosh.
I might try to fix it, but then it's like, what's the point? Like every time I give a certain somebody a project,
Oh,
if I just end up doing it, what's the point?
yeah, let's not. Let's just not.
But like, I'm
Yeah.
fairly certain if I run an Ethernet cable underneath in the basement over to where my uh, booster is in the living room and
Hmm.
hardwire it into the thing, it will then boost my signal in the house better. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
Instead of wirelessly trying to go through my basement concrete.
Yeah, it's a problem.
And it's probably cheaper than doing everything else that we're doing
Yep.
or want to do. It's
Yep.
literally just buy a really long Ethernet cable and get a staple
You're
gun
on
and
the right
just
track.
put a small hole in my floor and
Yeah. You're on the right track. That's what's going to work.
yeah. And that's
Yeah.
stupid.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do that. Do that.
I probably
Anyway.
will. But
Anyway.
one day when he's not here,
Yes.
he'll come home and be like, "What did you do?" I'll be like, "I fixed everything. Goodbye."
Yeah. I fixed everything. Goodbye. Yeah.
Anyway, this is the problem when you're single for too long as a woman.
You just do it yourself.
Yeah.
You just do it yourself.
And then you're like, then why do I have you?
Yeah. Yeah. Purpose, please.
Anyway.
Point. Point. Okay. All right.
Yeah. I was talking to one of my coworkers and he's like, see, my mom always told me at least be handy. At a minimum, be handy.
At a minimum. That's real. That's
Hmm.
for real. At a minimum.
At a
Yeah.
minimum, every man should be handy. Actually, every
Mm-hmm.
woman should also be handy because you
Yes, you
might not
should.
have a man, but
Yes, you
at a
should.
minimum, every man should be handy.
Mm-hmm.
But this is
Boom
not the
and
point of
boom.
this.
Well, that's fine. Okay, you're up next for your book.
Okay, I guess we can start with Norma, which was this Finnish story that was kind of interesting. I think you would like it because it's got um like crime novel vibes because there's this mystery around Norma's mom's death. There's this crime syndicate that's centered around um, like human trafficking. I'm trying not to give too much away. And
Hmm.
also around the hair market. And so
Oh.
Norma is this woman that has a special power where she like basically she just keeps growing hair. Like she has like she's like a, like almost like a Rapunzel, like her inner special, and it's like it can sense things. It um, never changes. Like it just grows really really fast, and it makes like the best wigs and hair extensions or whatever. So it's this very strange story where you have that element plus the crime element plus the mom being seriously dying, and it was just really I don't even really know how to explain it well without you being like, what the frig are you talking about? But
Yeah.
it was just very weird and pleasantly weird.
Okay.
So basically this thing that Norma has is something that has to be kept a secret because when people find out about it, there's been women like this for eons and they usually get vilified, attacked, all these other things. So it's a really interesting discussion of like, I guess, female empowerment, human trafficking,
That's interesting.
maternal, familial bonds within women, and it's a very interesting book.
Interesting. Norma.
I think you
Hmm.
would like it. I don't know
I'm gonna
who
see.
wrote.
I was getting ready to say I'm gonna see if my
It's
library has it, and
it's
I'm not.
Sophie Ak- Akasen. Ak- I can't say people's names. Oksanen. Sophie
Okay.
Sofi.
Okay. That does sound interesting. I'm not going to get it right now because I'm not going to get things from the library because I've been out of control. I'm slowing my library roll. All right. So my next one, I read the Cult on Fog Island by Mariette Lindstein,
Oh, that one I want.
and this is translated from the Swedish. And this is a series. I know there's a sequel. I do not know if it's ongoing or if it's finished or if there are more. I need to look, but I do know there's a second one. And I'm hoping, I just hit my mic, and I'm hoping that when I go back to Books a Million, because I got this from the Books a Million discount section, I'm hoping they have the second one. But this is about, there's like this guy that has this like new group or whatever that he's starting, and everybody wants to be on his team and be up under him. He's got this like big like house somewhere in this backwoods, and he's like building this community for this new age thing he's doing. And
Hmm.
he's got all these workers that live there, and they're supposed to be like doing all this documentation, and they're giving presentations and workshops and building this grand library, just all about his methods and all about his thoughts on this whole new age thing. But it's like they're really like in jail. He takes away their phones. They're like they're
I
they're
shouldn't laugh at that.
secured in this home with this like electric gate that will like fry you if you try to escape. There's bodyguard. It's a lot going on. Also, he's a sociopath. So there's a lot happening.
Why is that not surprising? Also,
Okay?
he's
There
a sociopath. No shit,
sociopath.
Naomi.
And so there's also like this other, they're like is outside of this like big property that they're on, and there's like all these secrets that are to be revealed. And it's really entertaining. It's very fun. It was very I don't want to say it was slow, it was fast paced, but it was paced just right in my opinion.
It was
So
steady.
it was steady. It was steady. And I enjoyed it a great deal. And I can't wait to read the second one. So that is The Cult on Fog Island,
I just
translated
added it
from
to my wish
Swedish.
list because I remember
Hmm.
you really liked that. Why did I think it was Icelandic? I think Pam was reading a bunch of Icelandic thrillers at the same time you were reading that, and all the
Yeah.
covers were the same,
Yeah.
um, like vibe. They're not the same cover. Let me
As
change
a
my
matter of fact,
browser.
let me look it up right now for you all in the audience, and let's see how many are in this series. I mean, my fingers are crossed that they have the second one when I go back because this was fun. It was good and fun. Is that weird to say that
What
a
that like a
thrillery book about,
psychopathic?
yeah.
No, because I like all kinds of weird things, but I'm not the one who's going to judge.
I just had a
We'll,
really good
we'll
time
let the
reading it.
listeners decide if you're weird.
Am I weird, guys? All right. So, oh, wait a minute. What's happening? Okay, okay. All right. So, apparently there are one, two, three, four. This says, oh, there are five.
5.
There are five.
I only saw 2 on Amazon.
So this is the
Out of
Sophia.
the first one.
This is the Sophia Bauman series. Obviously, this is book one.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I don't know is I I don't know if they've all been translated into English. I know that the second one has, but I don't know about the rest of them.
I don't think anything else has, just based on what I saw on the Amazon search that I did quickly.
Yeah, so the second
And
book
it,
is Shadow of Fog Island.
yeah, and it doesn't even look like, yeah, books in series 2. That's all they have so far on
Oh,
Amazon.
okay, so book 2 just came out January 7th.
Oh, so you're gonna have to. Hopefully, they're translating like one a year, so at least you get one.
This is very confusing. Yeah, this is a
Well,
little confusing, but anyway, at least get this one, The Cult on Fog Island. Because I feel like even if you just read this one and you never read any others in the series, I think you'd be fine. You know what I mean? I just want to continue on, but I think you'd be fine just reading this. And it's a
yeah.
little chunky, and it's great.
I added both to my wish list, so they're there waiting.
Well, if I see it next week and it's cheap, you can tell me if
Yes,
you want me to
please.
get it for you or not.
Yes, tell me.
Because last
And
time they
I'll
had a
and I'll
lot
just
for
add it to
those.
all the things that I randomly Venmo you in the middle of the night for, because I remember. Did you like that? That I randomly remembered to Venmo you?
Did you see my thanks? I was like, thanks. And I was like, wait, does she know what I'm talking about? Then I was like, Riverside.
I was going to sleep on my little pillow, and I was like, "Oh shit! I owe Naomi. It's a new month."
Isn't digital money fun?
It is fun because it's like I always have a tiny like Venmo balance, so I have no idea.
Me too.
Free. It's like free stuff.
Me too. I have a just, my, because I never touch my PayPal money and I never touch my Venmo money.
Yeah,
So it's there.
just sits there. Yeah,
It
it's
feels
nice.
like security. It's like a little money
Yeah,
security blanket.
yeah, exactly. And then sometimes you have to Venmo your friend for lunch, and you're like, "Oh look,
Oh
a free
yeah,
lunch."
that's my house. Exactly,
It's not
exactly.
free, but it feels free.
So you're up next.
Oh, Memory Police. I loved this book so much, and you have to read this. So
I'm
this
gonna
is
I'm gonna get it.
this like I actually need to. This is one I need to purchase. This is Yoko Agawa. This is a Japanese author, and you're on this um island, this unnamed island. So you're already insulated, right? You're in this insular world. Don't worry, mind me while I break things. And on this island, there are these people called memory police. And essentially, what happens is every so often something gets erased from the collective memory. Like it starts off, I think, with like birds. It's like the first big thing you see, and basically everything having to do with has to go away, and then like it disappears. Eventually it just disappears, and knowledge, and you lose the words for it, you lose everything for it, and you
It's
it
so
centers
weird.
around these. It's so weird and unsettling, and there are people who never lose their memory, that remember everything, um, and those people are like hunted down, because obviously the memory police are trying to eradicate something, so they don't want anybody who could ever remind you that something exists. And it's so good. So you have these three characters. There's like an old man, there's a young guy, and there's a woman. And the young guy has all of his memories. The woman doesn't, but there's stuff with like her parents and things that are hidden in secrets with her parents. And the three of them all kind of work together in this world. Um, and it's so good. I'm not doing the best job of explaining it, because I don't want to like
No, you are.
I
It's
don't
interesting.
want to say anything, but I don't want to spoil anything. But like, it's a fascinating little story, and it's so good. It's so good. Read it.
I'm hoping that I see it when I go out next week. I'm
I've
hoping that I see it.
never seen it, but like you see a lot of really cool stuff at Mickey. So, and yeah,
Also, some of this kind of sort of feels like 1984 with the not remembering
right.
things. I'm
Yeah.
digging that.
There's
I'm
like
digging that.
a little nod to sort of totalitarian government.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yes.
but it's so good. I really love this, and I've been waiting to read it for a really long time,
Yeah.
um, and I finally got to read it, and it was really
I'm
good.
glad you did. I'm glad you did. And now I want to. That sounds really interesting.
Yeah,
So
I
I'm
think
on
you'll like
board.
that one. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I feel like you and I are going to be getting and reading more translated works.
Hmm.
And I think we're discovering some really good authors that are, written in translation. So that's also really exciting.
This
So,
exercise taught me. Sorry to cut you off. This exercise taught me that I really like weird Asian
they're
authored
so good.
stories. Um,
They're so
Whenever
good.
an Asian author writes a weird story, I'm in it. Like,
Yeah.
the weirder it is, the more I'm like, yes.
Yes. Yes. This is um this is kind of what we're talking about. Like, there's so many ways that you can like diversify your reading.
Mm-hmm.
Try picking up, a work in translation. There are so many good ones out there, and it's like a whole other world of books to read.
Yeah.
Just think of all the things that have been translated and that are still yet to be translated.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I mean, that's exciting.
Yeah,
Some good
and
stuff.
every like spice, it's got like its different flavor, it's got its different whatever, like
Yeah.
weird analogy you want to use. And so you're getting this different look at maybe something that's similar that you already read. Like, say you really like horror, thriller, weird
Mm-hmm.
books. Now you go to, I don't know where, doesn't matter, pick somewhere. You're going to Spain. Now you have like a different cultures look at
Exactly.
weird, and then you hop over to, I don't know, Bangladesh, and it's different.
Exactly.
It's so fun to sort of go around the world and see how different people do something that you enjoy.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I agree. And so my next one is The Door
That's on my reading list for the
by,
month.
oh yes, by Magda Szabo. And this is translated
Is it Hungarian?
from the Hungarian. This has been on my list for a really long time to read. And so I finally
Hey, Larry.
purchased it. You heard that door?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. He closed the double doors. Um, oh no, he's in the bathroom. And so I finally purchased it.
How
And
dare you, Lawrence? How dare you go to the back?
that's a no-no. This book. Okay, so how do I break this down? Because I don't want to spoil anything. So
Don't spoil
this
anything because I
book,
have it on for the month
I
somewhere.
know. So this book is. So oh, wonderful. So two of the main characters. One is a domestic worker. She's like their housekeeper,
Mm-hmm.
And the other character that they're focusing on is the wife who employs said domestic worker, and she's very prominent. She's married to a prominent man. I believe she's a writer, and they have a very hoity-toity kind of a life. And what's so interesting in the story is this constant push and pull between this domestic worker and the lady of the house.
Ooh.
And it's kind of like this domestic worker, she always wins the power struggle. And it's just so hilarious to watch. But it's
Oh.
also, there's also something very, let's say, dark about her, because she doesn't let you in on everything about her. She doesn't tell you everything about her. She has a lot of secrets and a lot of things that are very mysterious in the way that she operates in her own life. And there are times, well, I won't say that because that might spoil something, but
Don't spoil
she's just
things.
very mysterious. But the power struggle between these two is so fun to read. It was a total trip. So I highly recommend The Door by Magda Szabo. Highly recommend it.
My
That
dog
was
just made a
weird.
noise. Sorry. Did you hear him?
I did.
He was clearing his throat because he has laryngeal paralysis, so he has to do that like gross cough
Right.
every so often. It's always alarming.
We love him. We love
You know
him.
what I realized? I probably at some point gonna have to catch on to the fact that sometimes I sleep on the couch, and they're probably gonna start thinking that I have like issues.
Oh, you all don't understand. She's a real dog mom.
We
She
alternate. This is
sacrifices. She sacrifices for her dog.
we alternate. This is how you know that Jesus loves me. It's because he will sleep on
It,
the couch for my dog.
it it's for sure. Yeah, we know that for sure, without a doubt.
He's old. He can't go upstairs. Anyway, so the next one, I guess since it's my turn, was Ji Young, born 1982.
Oh.
Um, and I saw this around a lot, especially on BookTube earlier. Um, I'm just gonna grab it here. Kim Ji Young. There we go. Born 1982. I think it's funny that I'm pulling up a German version right now on Goodreads. But anyway, so it follows this woman from basically like birth to whenever the book cuts off. And it's set in Korea, and you see this like push and pull between the gender norms, and as time goes on, this pushing against the standard gender norms and the advancement of women, and then sort of the pullback of that, and how you kind of take like two steps forward, one step back, and it keeps going like that throughout this character's life. Um, and it's a really wonderfully written book um, about a culture which has like a very rigid historic sort of patriarchy or misogyny or whatever word you want to use. Um, I don't know. It was really super short, and uh, I can't tell if it was. I feel like it's sort of a conglomeration of the author's own experiences and
Mm.
perhaps whatever work she does, because it sounds almost like the telling of like a therapist, like
Oh.
through um I don't know if it makes any sense, but like somebody who has spent a long time sort of digging into people's emotions and
Yeah.
experiences and creating a story that mirrors something that is felt by the collective. Um, Hopefully that
Yeah.
makes sense.
That
Uh,
yeah, it makes sense.
and it was really 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 good. That here someone's review says it becomes a channel for women's collective rage that was felt universally. So yeah,
Oh.
it is definitely like you get this all women together feeling. Um, and you have multiple generations because as this person's growing up, you have daughter and mom and all these other it's beautifully done and is a must read. You
Yeah, I
must read
have
it.
seen that around a lot, and
It's gotten a
I
lot of
don't
hype.
think I've heard one bad thing about that book. So we'll definitely add that to my list. That's Born 1982.
Kim Ji-young, born 1982.
Okay, yeah, yeah, that's going on the list. Okay, all right. This is such a wonderful
Look
book.
at your
This
little
was in
face. You're
my.
so excited.
It was just so good. So this is the Elegance of the Hedgehog by Muriel Barbary, and this, yes, I'm so excited. And this is translated from,
French.
what is, thank you, from French. I also think she has a new book that just came out or is coming out soon. So anyway, this follows a, how old is this little girl? She 12? Anyway, it follows this young girl and this older lady. The young girl, no, that's Renee. She's 54. I wanted to get the young girl's age, but I don't think I could find it quick enough. But she's like a preteen, and she's kind of obsessed with suicide.
Oh,
She's constantly thinking about ending her life. She is a very privileged young girl, has a very wealthy family, and she pretty much hates them. She thinks they're awful people, and she thinks they are
isn't
frivolous
every teenager?
and, well, she thinks they're frivolous, and she feels like they really serve nothing to the greater good. And she, in her mind, is reckoning with her purpose in life. Like, what's the point of being wasted space? If I'm not going to do something great, what's the point of even living? So she's got this grand plan on how she's going to stop living. And then the book is also following uh, Renee, and she is a widow, and she's the concierge of this fancy building that this little girl lives in. And she's a very nice lady, but describes herself as basically, very unattractive and, of course, not well off. And she's dealing with, I guess, kind of living in like this like lonely bubble. And you find out later why she's so opposed to making friends and why she kind of like lives this somewhat lonely life. But this book was just so beautiful the way it was written, and seeing the journey of this little girl and Renee's the concierge and all the people that begin to come into the story, like the way everything was woven in, it was really touching, really beautiful, also extremely heartbreaking, and I
Mm-hmm.
just recommend everybody read it. So that is The Elegance of the Hedgehog. This is a very bittersweet book.
I love
Very
bittersweet.
bittersweet. It was, I just, when you just want to hug it? You just want to hug it. Yeah.
Well, clearly, it's on my list because
And that was,
you made me get it.
and so far, all of these authors, this is my first time reading them, and I'm just been pleasantly surprised.
Awesome. Oh, I don't even. I feel like I forgot what this book was about when I reviewed it in my freaking other time. Um, so I read this book called Kitchen because the author's name is Banana Yoshimoto or something like that.
Banana?
Um, Banana, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So this girl's mother dies, I believe. It's a Japanese author and set in Japan. And this woman's, oh, she's living with her grandmother, and her grandmother dies. And a lot of it's centered around the kitchen and the hearth in the home and all of that kind of stuff. Um, but she gets taken in by her friend and his mother, who is actually uh, is transgendered and works at this club, like a transgendered club or whatever you want to call it, like a nightclub. And so like his mom's his dad actually. So like you get this whole um, these two kids sort of leaning on each other, and they
Mm.
grow up together. And this one day, like some things happen to the mom, and you get to see a lot that from losing your family to dealing with being different to um, like mental health issues and all that. So it was an interesting little story, but I mean, I don't know if I. There's also a second book in the story called Moonlit Shadow, which I didn't really like. It was fine. Kitchen was better than a Moonlit Shadow, but
Mm-hmm.
I think I read better stuff last month than Kitchen. It wasn't bad. It
Mm.
wasn't. It wasn't
Mm-hmm.
anything like that. Like it was a fine short story about grief and loss and friendship and
Right.
all of that. So,
Okay.
um, but it was all
Would
right.
you recommend?
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're looking for something short to read that focuses on those kinds of topics, I think it's good. I really liked the introduction of the trans mother, and because this book is on the, and I feel like that's a topic in the U.S. that we are just kind of really cracking the seal on, and this was first published in 1988. So,
Mm.
like, that's a really I don't think we were talking about it as much here in the West as maybe I don't know what they were talking about in Japan in 1988. I didn't live there,
Right.
but perhaps it's a more common theme. I don't know, but it was kind of nice to see like an early handling of such a sensitive topic and such
Yeah.
a current, relevant topic. There we go.
Yes. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Kitchen.
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 Banana
Okay.
Yoshimoto.
I love that name. I'm sorry. I love it. Banana
Banana.
Yoshimoto.
She's
Okay.
got a lot of books on Audible, like the free stuff for Audible.
Oh,
She's
really?
got a lot of other books for free on Audible that I put in my library while they were available. Um, so I do writing was good. It all in the month. My top stories for the month.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Got it. Uh-oh. Your video went away.
So did yours. It's okay. I'll just stare
That's
at
fine.
myself.
Okay. That's fine. All right. So my next one was out by Natsuo Kirino.
It's another
I
one you
also think,
had me get.
yeah, I think that this is becoming a cult classic as well. And this
Is
is
this a
translated from
horror
Japanese. It- this is not horror. This is crime
thriller?
fiction.
Oh, okay.
This is crime fiction. And it's weird because I hear people talk about this book and they say it's horror and they say it's scary. And I'm like, did we read the same book? This is crime
Or
fiction.
or maybe we're just broken.
No, this is crime fiction. This
Thank
is not
you for not
horror.
saying
Like,
I'm broken.
you are not broken. This is crime fiction. Someone kills somebody. And then there's, an investigation. It's crime fiction. But this reads like dark comedy to me. Yes, I love that cover too. This reads like dark comedy to me. And so it was comedically dark. It was somewhat fast paced, but there are also some characters in here that are like a little bit unnerving because it's like you should not be thinking the way you think. Or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or you have so many secrets, you scare me because I don't know who you are.
Yeah.
I don't know who you are, and that's very like, ooh, it's just like I don't know what I'm dealing with you. And then there's other people. It's like, how did you come up with that plan? Have you done this before? That freaks me out. So it's just all these different characters that come in, and I don't know if I should say. Can I say that? Wait, let me read the synopsis. Okay, I can say this. Okay, so a woman basically kills her husband, and essentially her friends come in to help her clean up the mess. So that's
Okay.
what's going on in this, and all that's being investigated by this detective or whatever. But it was fantastic. It was so great, and so now I'm gonna be buying her other stuff. I think she has a book called Grotesque, and she has another one. But I like her style of this like dark comedic writing. It was great. It was great.
I'm here for it. Sounds
Yeah.
good. How many more do you have? Because I only have
I
four.
just have two. I have two more.
So I will sort of clump these together because I went down a Han Kang rabbit hole.
Oh,
And I read The Vegetarian, which I think almost everybody knows that book, at least in general.
yes.
Then I read The White Book by her and also Human Acts. And these three books were very different in subject matter, but the writing is just so phenomenal. So The Vegetarian follows this woman who's she has a sister. They're both married,
Okay.
and the one sister gets married to this guy, and it's this very like transactional marriage where they're just kind of like, yeah, I guess we'll get married kind of thing. It's not like a love match, it's not anything, whatever. And then the other sister is kind of more happily married, they have kids, yada yada. And the transactionally married sister, whose name I cannot remember, so I apologize for that, she just starts to have this mental breakdown where she just stops eating. And because she has this dream about like flesh and all this other stuff, so she just
Oh.
stops eating. And first she's vegetarian, and then eventually just trend she just keeps going until she stops eating altogether.
Oh.
And she ends up in a mental institution. There's a whole interplay between her sister and her. um Her marriage breaks down, obviously, because she's gone crazy, and of course he's not going to stick around, and a bunch of other stuff happens, and it's just this really unsettling and weird story, especially when you go into most of the chapters are the other people around her's point of view. And then occasionally you get the sister who's having the mental breakdowns point of view, and they're
Oh.
so unsettling. And it is bizarre and weird. And then I'm not going to spoil anything, but then you also eventually, the sister starts to like come into the story a little bit. And I feel like you start to get questions about the sister too, by the end. And it's really interesting. It's a weird, weird, weird book.
So I basically need to read it because this
Yeah, and it's super
sounds
short. It's super
incredible.
weird and super short. Which then made me want to see what else she does. So she has this book called The White Book, which is super, super short. Like I think it's like I listened to it. It's like a 3-hour audiobook or something. Like it's so short, but it's basically like a writing exercise where this person's writing a letter to their sister after the death, like, or remembering the death of a child, I guess. But everything is focused around things that are white. So it's this really weird narrative. It's very poetic, but it's also fascinating to just read for people who enjoy words and enjoy
Mm.
wordplay and enjoy because the whole story is centered around things that are white. Everything is about things that are white, and then tying it into this loss of a child and the memory of a child, and it's
Wow.
really, really beautifully done. It's like it's just it's brilliant. And then Human Acts is a story that centers around a really violent uprising that happened in Korea, where a lot of students died and young people died, and every chapter is kind of a different perspective, I guess, on the the people involved in this. And I believe, even like, if I remember correctly, one chapter's even from the point of view of a dead body and a stack of bodies, and
Oh.
it is unsettling and
Mm.
moving and heartbreaking, and the writing is just like top freaking notch. It is top tier writing. It is so good.
So I need to
So
get
good.
into this author is what you're
Yes, you need to
saying.
get into Hong Kong. You need to.
Okay.
You
Okay.
need to. You need to. All of you need to. Everyone needs to.
Okay.
It's really good.
Noted.
As long as you
Noted.
like weird.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Ooh, what if I run across her at McKay or the thrift store? That'd be amazing.
Oh,
And now
you would love it.
you don't own these books, right?
I don't own
These
any of
were
these. So I need to
okay.
get those three books and anything else I can by Han Kang.
Okay. All
And The
right.
Memory Police are the three, four. The four I really want to get. Oh, and the Kim Jong, born 1983. 1982.
Okay.
I'm born 1983. They're born 1982.
I'm down. I'm totally down with that. That sound all of those by this one woman
Mm-hmm.
sound incredible.
They're absolutely phenomenal. And they're so very different, but not, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like, it's so good.
Mm.
She's just the talent is amazing.
I'm excited now. I must not buy more books. I'm going to buy more books. All right. So, my next to last book is the latest novel by Mieko Kawakami, and it's called Heaven.
Still need to read that.
She wrote Breast and Egg, same lady. And this is much shorter. It's like a novella. This is centered around two high school students, and they are both horribly bullied in school. And this book will break your heart. These bullying scenes were so rough, it just cracks you open. It just cracks you open. There's this one particular scene in here where the boy that's being bullied, he is talking with one of the other guys that's in the bully group. Like he's not the one doing the bullying, but he's in that group and he's just kind of witnessing everything. And they're having this conversation like, why does it happen? Why do you do it? Yada yada. And this conversation between these two was just so painful and so raw, but also it's like, of course, this is what a teenager would say. As cruel as it is, this is exactly what a teenager would say. This is exactly
Yeah.
how they would feel about it. But it was so like, man, it was just like heartbreaking and gut wrenching.
Yeah.
This book will just have you feeling a lot of things.
I
So
feel like
just
her writing's really realistic. If it's anything like
so
Breast and Eggs
realistic.
was, it's so relatable and realistic.
Yeah, yeah. So, I guess if you were bullied or if you have a child that's being bullied, just know that this does not hold back on that. It goes in, and again, it will break your heart.
Yeah.
The writing is phenomenal, and I really enjoyed it. And so I'm in love with Mieko. I there it is, folks. I'm in love with Mieko. She's fantastic. I want to be her friend. I will learn Japanese just to talk to her if she doesn't speak English. I just love her. I do. I love her. That's all. That's all.
We
I
should
have,
take Japanese.
I officially have a real live author crush obsession. I want to meet this woman. Period.
Well, maybe we can make that happen one day when we.
Maybe.
I'm gonna make this last one really short and sweet because I hate this book.
Oh.
So, I read The Discomfort of Evening, and it is
Ugh.
it is uncomfortable. Um, so basically, it's translated from somewhere. What is it translated for? Danish. That's right. I cannot say this lady's name, but she. So you're in the point of view of one of the daughters. There's this family. They're like dairy farmers, and they have two sons and two daughters. And one of the sons, very early on in the story, drowned. And then the rest of the story is about everybody in the family sort of grappling with their grief around the son dying and the way all of that has a. Now, that in and of itself is a fantastic, framework for a story. Love it.
Sure.
Great.
Sure.
Everything's great. Unfortunately,
Uh oh.
it went down one of those weird sexual routes that I really, really, really wanted to DNF it, but I was like, no, I have to keep going because, like, what if it's just uncomfortable, but there's a point to it being uncomfortable? And I don't know if there was a point to it being this uncomfortable. Her surviving brother does a lot of weird things to a lot of people. Her dad does some weird stuff. Her mom is like mentally unhinged, which is understandable because she's the grief of losing her child, but it's like they kind of gloss over some of that. It's like, oh yeah, and I guess that makes some sense because she's a young child, like you're seeing it from the point of view of a young child, but like I don't know, the fixation on other things, like it was, I don't, it was too much. And then the amount of times that she talks about Hitler and like wanting to be Hitler or like I don't know, just the weird stuff. It was
What?
so yes, it was no, it's just a no for me. It's a no for me, dog. No. No.
What? It looks like this book broke your brain in the worst way.
It needs to go away.
It's You look like you're trying to hide from it.
because it's awful. I'm just like I'm trying to keep the memories of it from coming back. Like I just got rid of them and now I'm thinking of them all again. Like the things, Naomi. Like I almost want you to read it so that we can really talk about
Oh
this. But I
no.
don't want anyone to ever read this book because nobody else needs to like I will take this one for the team. Like
Wow.
don't read the book. And if you've read this and you like it, you can tell me how much why. Um but like I think it was like a Booker finalist or a prize winner. I mean,
Oh
it was
really?
an award-winning book.
Really? That's
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. I'm sorry. It's a Libra, some sort of international Booker Prize for
Ah.
2020.
That was just last year. So this is new.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm not going to lie. I'm a little bit intrigued. I kind of want to know what you're feeling right now. I may read it later just so that I know because now I'm just curious. Curiosity's getting me right now.
Like, I definitely need to be able to talk freely with somebody. Like, I don't know why I even care about spoiling this book for somebody, but I just kind of don't, one, want to get us kicked off of like Spotify because I mentioned something that's criminal. And also,
Whoa.
like, it's so wrong. But I also like feel like I need to unpack this with somebody. Like, is there like,
Okay.
you know what we need? We need like bookish therapy, where when we read books that traumatize us, somebody can
Yes.
can like break it down for us, and we can have like a little chat, and we can work through our feelings.
Oh,
Do
like
you
when
know
I
what I
read
mean?
that. Oh, yes, I do. Like when I read that book, The Fifth Child, and I was like, I don't know what I feel right now, but it's nothing good. And it was a good book. It wasn't a bad book, but this that story was just so messed up. I was like in a daze, and I needed to talk it out. I know
Yeah,
exactly what you mean. I needed to talk it out.
yeah. Maybe we could start a segment, bookish therapy, where people just
Yes.
send us their
Oh,
their
that's a
their
great idea.
for like the things they need to talk out.
That's a great
You can
idea.
email us at tbrlowdown.com
No, they can leave an audio
or leave an
if they
audio
go to our
clip.
anchor page. Oh, that's a great idea. Let's
Yeah.
plan that.
Leave us your therapy session. Your
And we'll
for
play it on the show.
the books that haunt you.
Yes, I love that. All right. All right, this is my final book, and it was my first foray into reading Elena Ferrante, and this
Oh,
is
you do love that. I remember
I've
when you
been
read it.
waiting. I've been waiting to read. This is a series. There are 4 books in this series. This is book one, My Brilliant Friend, and this is the book one of the Neapolitan novels. And I've been waiting to read this for a really long time, and I finally acquired all 4 books a few months ago. And so, I think I'm in love with her as well. So this follows some young girls, 2 best friends in particular, and it feels weird to say best friends because this entire book follows their friendship. And it is contentious. It is full of all kinds of pressures. It's full of envy. It's so many things. There are plenty of parts where it's like, do you already like each other? Because I
You
don't
love a
know
good
what's
family
going.
drama.
Oh man, it's so good. And they're like, and I'm talking, this starts at a very young age. We're following them from grade school through like super old ladyhood, right?
Super old lady.
Super old ladyhood. And they are so mean to one another, even at that grade school level. They're so mean to one another. They're like so evil. And they go through these bouts of super respect for one another, but then there's one that because one is very much like on a genius level in terms of like her smartness, and the other
Mhm.
one is just like she's smart, but the other girl, it's like I like she taught herself how to read at like the age of 3 or 4, like she's
Mhm.
that smart. And so the other friend constantly feels like she's trying to catch up to her friend. And so there's this jealousy there. It's like, would I ever be good enough? Or whatever I do that's great, it's not really great because then so and so is doing this that's like 2 levels or 3 levels ahead of me. So it's that constant like trying to catch up and keep up with her friend and trying to feel good about herself. It's written so well. It's written so well, following their friendship. But the other thing I wanted to point out is there's a certain level of world building that I thought was brilliant. So in the beginning, Elena is describing this neighborhood, and in my brain, I see this neighborhood that's empty. And when I say empty, I mean like I see nothing but like a street. And as she's talking about this neighborhood and these people, in my mind, I can see like one apartment building pop up, and then a couple of people. And because this is how she's breaking it down
Mm-hmm.
in the beginning, she's talking about she's building the neighborhood for you for your mind so that you can see each building, you can see the people, you can see the store. It was brilliant how she did that. The writing was fantastic. The story was fantastic. It is a page turner. You don't want to put it down. And I can't wait to read the other books in this Neapolitan novels. I can't
No,
wait.
well,
So
it's
good.
Italian. Of course, you don't know if they like each other. They're always yelling at each
Oh,
other.
that's right.
That's what we
I
do.
didn't say that. Translated
We
from
just
Italian.
yell at each other. You don't know.
It's so good. Yeah. So Elena Ferrante, and I think I was reading. No. I wasn't reading. I was watching a video by Books and Bow. I love that guy. And this is something I did not know. Nobody knows who Elena Ferrante is. Did you know
What?
that?
No.
No one knows who Elena is. They don't even know if she's a man or a woman.
Wow.
They don't even know if she's a man or a woman. They don't know who Elena Ferrante is. Is that a real name? Maybe, maybe not. Is she a man
Somebody
or
has to know.
well, the publicist knows and Europa Editions probably knows, but no one knows.
That's
So that's super interesting.
that's interesting.
Yeah, and apparently her new novel, something about what is it? The Lying Lives of Adults. I heard that's really good. So as soon as I finish this series, I'll probably read that next and then
Well,
see what else is in her backlist catalog. But
yeah.
this is fantastic.
Well, I just added everything. The Lying Life of Adults.
Yes, I heard that was something to read. So
All right, I'm sticking them all on my wish list.
yeah, so it was a great Women in Translation month. I enjoyed all of what I read. I've got some authors that I'm going to be following and tracking for a really long time, and I'm just very excited about it.
I really enjoyed this exercise of just really focusing on translated works. Having it be women is just was a bonus, but just focusing on those translated works, I am loving translated works. Like it's I don't know.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm having this shift from I still really love my fantasies and stuff, but I'm having this shift into lit fic that I'm really enjoying.
mm-hmm.
And there's so many translated works into lit fic. Sorry, UPS just drove by and I got
So
excited,
many.
but it didn't stop. Um,
I get it. Yeah, I get it.
but and I'm just I'm loving it. I'm loving all
Yeah,
of it. Yeah. And I
yeah.
have more from you. I have more from you that I have to read. So yeah. This is a long episode, so thank you to anybody who's actually made it all the way through, and for Naomi for
Yes.
editing this almost 2 hour long episode of us talking about the books we read in August.
It's
Not
just
even
more
all the books we read
practice.
in
I
August.
know. That's just the ones that were for Women in Translation Month. That does not include our other books that were something else. Because I read some good stuff in August.
I did too.
Some really good stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, let us know. Come on over to the blog or the Instagram and let us know if you read anything for Women in Translation Month and what you thought about it. And
Let
we'd
us
love to
know your
talk about
horror
it.
stories.
Please.
Leave us show notes to where you can leave us a voice memo
Yes.
describing whatever book it is that has given you much trauma.
Yes.
Don't worry
Yes.
about spoilers.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. Those could be like
Give
little
it to us.
mini episodes. I love it.
Give it to us. We
I
want to
love
know.
it. I love it. So once again, so this is on September 11th.
May we never
And
forget.
may we never forget. And this episode will be released on the 13th. So there's still time to read with us for our two book club picks, which is Breast and Eggs and the bonus book, The Master of Margarita. You can also join us in the Ulysses Read Along, which started on September 5th and runs for 6 weeks. All this information is on our website, tbrlowdown.com. So there you have it, folks. We appreciate you listening. And we are out of here.
Me playing with my eyebrows.
Bye.
Because I felt like this one was staying up.
Matter of mess.
I can't wait to we need those raw and uncut for everybody.
Wait, that's okay. Bye.
Bye.